Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of series 3 where we're still refining the system, almost ready to take it live. If we were to take the system live, which I have a very similar system that I've built out for myself currently, um, yeah, you can be completely profitable with what I'm doing right now. And so if we take a look at the daily, I'm going to give you a top down. I'm actually live in a trade right now. And so in the previous system, in iterations or season 1 and season 2, uh, there's no way we'd be looking at this market, right? We'd be anticipating the stage 2 delivery on the higher time from the daily, and so we wouldn't wait or we wouldn't get involved until we see some bullishness come into this market. However, with this most recent testing, which I took more time to test myself, on the 4-hour, we're getting these beautiful rejections and some sort of shorter time frame trend that we are finally breaking down to some extent, rejecting. And once again, if I flip the chart, so just how I expect to see it, I have a lot more experience stocking for longs, but you can do the same thing. Today, I jumped on, it's a Friday. We had a little bit of red news at 8 in the morning. And so nothing to do until I jumped onto the 20-minute. There was a valid entry here, I believe, when I woke up. Yep, this is when I woke up. Valid entry, however, I saw that there would be red news a little bit further down the day, right around here. This is where price kind of, whatever. We had USD red news. And then, about an hour later, hour and 20, we get this beautiful setup. And this is where I took my long. 5-minute. Long over this high. ATR low around here was, I think, like 0.6 or something. Here we're at 0.5. So very good stop loss here. Still managed that break even, nothing to do. But we're in on this trade and we're just going to let it run. So hopefully we either get stopped out or we get a nice little runner from this. Looking at all other markets, I'm going to do a very quick top down. 4-hour, of course, GU is moving just in tandem with EU. So I'll throw this on my screener. Market's about to close, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to close here in like 3 hours or something. So 4-hour, waiting for that build up, nothing to do. Let's look at the daily. Nothing to do here. If anything, you could see some shorts coming in. Like if you want to look at this kind of structure that we're building up to some extent, it's a very weak market. We're just now building out of this range. And so you could, I am eyeing this a little bit. Daily failing. So I want to look at the 4-hour. Kind of like in part 1 of this series or video 1. Oh, on the daily, we're getting this back and forth kind of price action. And so if we step down to the 4-hour, we can create some sort of cohesive story that gives us some sort of narrative that we can follow. But it's not always the best to do that. The only thing I see on CAD CHF, which is kind of lining up, I'll throw it at the top, is longs coming in. And so if I get on this candle close, if I get a good entry somewhere around here, phenomenal. Outside of that, 4-hour, still nothing to do. Potentially something to do, but fell back down, so nothing. Potential longs on this, very wiki. You know, I already have my money in an asset, so nothing to do. The odd NZD is shaping up quite nicely. I want to see some sideways price action on the hourly. See a little bit of retracement, and then we can see some build up, so I'll move this a little bit higher up. USD CHF as well, longs coming in. Ooh, yes, long over this high, long over this high, phenomenal. See what that would have looked like. Yeah, SL somewhere around here or here, and you'd be in profit right now. Didn't take it, didn't see it. But if we look at the hourly, we're still good. Like if we get some sideways price action, I'm looking for some good movement off of this. 4-hour is very questionable on this. Don't want to touch this, don't want to touch this. Let's go to futures now. I've been eyeing these for a while. 4-hour failing, nothing to do. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. So futures have just kind of been standstill for me. Still nothing to do. Potentially a setup on this, but it's very bad. Nothing to do and nothing to do. So there you go. This is all we're in. Forex is looking pretty good. If we go into our current trade, looks like we still don't have anything to manage, so I need to see some more strength come out of this market, but we'll go ahead and continue our yeah, our amazing data collection here. And so we were working on gold off of a 300K count. And I'm going to pull up the equity curve here just so we see what we're working with. Equity curve wise, we're up 8%. That's kind of all we got to work with. This was our final trade. And so we've been fairly break even on this challenge. One thing we learned is kind of recapping video 1 is instead of using the daily as a higher, as I just showed you on this current trade, which I didn't use, I stepped down to the 4-hour. We can still build a very, very good narrative, still pull out lots of edge out of this market. And even though this market to some extent is sideways on the daily, on the 4-hour, we were able to scalp our small long off of here, and life is good, right? So daily, no clue where we're going. Just sideways, potentially falling off. Might start to build up. Like if we step up to the weekly, we can build up a narrative that this is our anticipation. So 4-hour good, hourly is good, 20-minute. And now, hopefully going forward, given that the 4-hour has cleared up quite a bit, if you take into account or kind of see this price action versus this price action, huge difference. E-liquid, choppy, wiki, all sorts of chop. Very clean on the right hand side of price. So 20-minute, gonna wait for a stage 1. Looking at the hourly, we still have plenty of strength in the hourly. I could see this collapse, and so one thing I'm still in the process of testing is extensions on the hourly. It's very important for me. So sorry about that. There could still be a good move out of this, but given that we have red news approaching here in a few hours, I mean, this is an okay entry. Hourly, what I like to do once again is look at hourly price movements. So we're at around this point in the move, right? If you want to draw this out and move this box over to here, this is where we're at in the move. And look at how much more delivery we had. And so when you start to look at examples like these live, in clean context, of course, you kind of start to realize what can and what can't or shouldn't be considered overextended. Overextended to here. What do we get to sideways? What happened here? Overextended to sideways. What happened here? I mean, it's a 1 candle extension. And then you get these rare unicorn cases, or like you can call them unicorn cases that are a lot more rare, where here I wouldn't have entered on a trade, but it still continued going. Here I wouldn't have entered on a trade, but it still continued going. Now I got the sideways price action. This is where I would have entered, probably news or whatnot, but that's okay. So hourly, unfortunately, we are a little extended. I'm going to wait for some more sideways, even though it might go. And that's why we wait. Hourly, going to wait for a stronger buildup, falls back down. 4 hours probably chopping now. I don't want to touch this market. Until we get some sort of validation, hourly is starting to build back up. 4 hours starting to sustain the move. 20-minute might give us a very beautiful entry right over this high. Let's see where we open up at. Yeah. 5-minute entry over this high. Phenomenal. Take a beautiful long. ATR low, we're looking at 0.79. Just about 1 ATR. Set up our buy stop. Let me do a double take on this. Looking at the narrative we're kind of building. This is kind of the structure I'm looking at. If you want to look at intermediary, something along the lines of this. This is a little bit of a more drastic pullback, but intermediary and institutional structure are lining up very nicely with this. 4 hour, we are still quite low in the range, so we could still see retracements, but I do like that the hourly is building out of the range of the 20-minute validation. Like everything's shaping up quite nicely. We could still take a loss here, wait for it to build up a little more, and then we get another entry. Get tapped in, get tapped out. That's a-okay. 20-minute. Gonna let this market do whatever it has to. Potential entry over this high. Let's look at the hourly. Hourly is still kind of weak in this move, so what I'll do is give it another candle. This is a valid entry, but not to my liking. And falls back down. Nothing to do. Don't want to touch this market now. And you take one loss, you're incorrect. Now we start the build up. This is where we start getting involved again. Hourly starts building up, 20-minute entry validation over this high. Let's look at the February 23rd news. And so I'll try to keep these videos about 1 hour long at most, because I know they can get quite boring, but you know, this is the process that nobody's willing to go through. 20-minute good, 5-minute good. Still nothing to do. Still valid entry. Falls back down. Let's see if there's another valid entry over this high still. So let's see where we close and see if we get a valid entry. Still valid entry. Building up nicely. Like if you want to look at this, I'm surprised there's no red news. I don't know if this is within risk. We're looking at 1.13 versus 1.33. Phenomenal. Long over this high. It's a huge stop. Like more likely than not, you're going to get stopped out, especially with these bigger moves. But we are building out of the range. You can get very explosive moves out of this, especially with the kind of price action we're getting right now. Oh, my bad. We didn't quite get tapped in, so I'm going to replay and then do like a regular buy stop. Give me just 1 second. Hang on. Like I said, I'm very busy. I'm doing all sorts of things at the same time, so just hang in there with me. Part of the process. 0.85% risk. Phenomenal. Get buy stopped in, hopefully. Yep. Move to break even. Nothing to do yet. Nothing to manage to. The only management I kind of see is here, and that's not enough risk. There we go. Gonna manage to just about here. Because the move is so strong, more likely than not, I want to see the 20-minute start to retrace at some point or another, and that's why I'm managing a lot more aggressively. Lines up with the 20-minute strength candle, so I love to see that. The only reason I'm managing to this point, I don't want to, you know, give all my secrets away, if that makes sense. Like I have personal experience that takes years to build. It took me 8 years to build or get to point to where I'm at. And so I have certain reasons to why I managed to certain points given my personal experience. And so sometimes I'll let you guys on some tips of why I managed to certain points, and other times you kind of need that experience yourself to know what to do, right? Why didn't I manage to these lows? And, you know, it's personal reasons, right? I got my personal management, and so as you build out your systems, you're going to find out things that work for you. There you go. You get tapped out. I secured an extra like 1R, perhaps. I would have gotten taken out here. Actually, no, I got taken out at the exact same price, a little bit higher of where I would have managed to. I secured like 0.4R more of the move, and that's okay with me. But if that would have been a runner, you would have secured the runner. 20-minute. I'm going to wait for a new build up. Hourly starts to fail. Gonna wait for hourly validation to come into this move. Let's look at the 4 hour supporting the move. Hourly starting to build out of it. So good for longs now. Phenomenal long over this high. February 26th. What time was it? At 10 p.m. So still nothing, I think. February 26th. There we go. And red news at 9 in the morning, but this is already 10 p.m. So doesn't matter. 4 hours sustaining the move, hourly sustaining the move, starting to build away from it. This is very, very early stage 2, late stage 1. So taking these risks, or these entries are a little bit more risky, but we're looking at a 0.52 risk. So I think it's about, what, 20% under ATR. So 3/4 ATR. Falls back down, nothing to do. Well, come on. 4 hour, still questionably sustaining the move. Gonna wait for another 20-minute validation. Phenomenal. You got this entry, and now the secondary entry is building up right here. So you're kind of getting double validation to some extent. 5-minute entry. This would have, well, is your entry. We're looking at a stop of about 1.04. That is way too big for my liking. So maybe I can push it down just a little bit. 0.83. 0.89. So we're looking at 0.9 versus let me do the math real quick. 0.9 minus 0.74-ish. 0.16 divided by 0.74. We're looking at just about 20%. I like to stay within a 20% error bound, so this is okay. It gives me a little bit more conviction in my entries, and the reason being is because I get that extra percent movement And so if I get tapped in, this was a quick tap out, but yeah, that was a valid entry. Gonna wait for a new validation. Validation over these highs, 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute entry over these highs. And I'll take one more entry here. Still nothing, definitely not within risk. We're looking at 1.2 versus 0.8. But if we get a tighter stop, something like this. And so what happens with these kind of entries is when I don't get an entry like this, sometimes if I look at the 20 and it's still valid over somewhere around these highs, I'll kind of set my entry around the same range and then try to find an ATR low that kind of fits. So here we're looking at 0.9. I can tighten this up just ever so slightly to kind of fit my criteria. But let's take a look at the daily. Daily is chopping. God knows where this price is going, but that 4 hours giving us a very good narrative. The hourly is building on that narrative. 20-minute good, 5-minute, yeah. And I'm okay taking a loss here. Boom, and you're done. I don't think that was a break even. Nope. And we just took 2 losses in one range, so we're gonna give this market a little bit of time to kind of sideways, baseline, whatever it has to. Clearly it's not ready to move. Let's look at that hourly again. Hourly is building up again. 4 hours good, hourly is good, 20-minute is good, 5-minute long over this high. See if it's still valid. A couple things you can do here is wait for a new 20-minute validation or use this current validation that we were just given to take a long. I'm going to choose to give it one more candle given that we just took 2 losses in this range. I'm going to wait for this completion. Wouldn't have gotten an entry, but that's okay. 4 hour falling back down, gonna wait for some validation. Hourly, 4 hour building, hourly building, 20-minute sidewaysing. So hopefully now we get a good entry. Very weak. Hourly is very weak. This would have been your entry. Falls back down. Gonna wait for hourly money to come into this market. Very sideways, very bad. Phenomenal. Entry, both of these entries were valid, but if we looked at the hourly at this point, it would have been a very weak candle. 4 hour good, hourly is okay, 20-minute is okay, 5-minute entry over this high is okay, a little extended, but still worth my risk. Well, we're looking at a 0.60 stop loss, so we're going to try to stay somewhere within 1 ATR. No tapping. Hourly still building, 20 minutes still building. Phenomenal entry over this high. ATR low. And remember, you have to be fast with this. This is a 5-minute candle. By the time it opens from here to here, you're already 1 minute in. And so effectively, if you want to look at the candle and split it up into sections, let me show you how I think about it. This candle moved a total of how many pips or units? 1.43. 1.43 divided by 5. 1.435. We're looking at 0.28 movement per minute if you want to average it out. 0.28 is this movement. That is the size of your stop loss. You have effectively 1 minute to size up your position, to figure everything out, and to have your position active unless you market execute right on the spot, but you can get slipped a little bit. You have just that much time to execute. And so you have to be quick with your executions. Imagine you're on a 1 minute. 1 minute, like a 1 minute candle. Let's go into trading view. 1 minute candle, average movement, we can do this math, is 0.16. You can see it right here. So like an entry candle of this size is 0.21. 0.21 divided by that 5. We get an average movement of 0.042. So like 0.042. This much movement in 1 minute. You see that? And so this is very important because by the time your validation candle, 0.4 something, that is effectively 5, that's 20 seconds. You have 20 seconds for that move to finish. And so if you're not quick with your executions, you can't be at the chart 24/7 looking at things, then that's gonna kind of ruin it for you. So we're still at break even, still at break even, still at break even, and we take a break even. Lovely. Hourly, nothing to do, but we might get a new setup here. 1, 2, potentially a setup by stop over this high. Let's take the 4 hour. 4 hour sustaining the move, hourly sustaining the move, 20-minute building out of the move. So you can choose to take a long over this high. 20-minute hasn't closed yet, so still valid. Weird. Why doesn't the 20-minute close? 1, 2, 1, 2. Potential entry over this high. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour sustaining the move, hourly sustaining the move, 20-minute sustaining the move. We're looking at 4:40 in the morning on the 27th, so we might have red news coming up here. Whoa, come on. Red news coming up at 7:30. That's all we really cared about. Phenomenal. Entry buy stop over this high. We're looking at 0.31 stop, so just about half an ATR. And what was it? 0.31, I think. Move to break even. If the move's gonna move, then it's gonna move, right? Not gonna move, it's gonna stop me out. There you go. Hourly, still building. Phenomenal entry. Re-entry. There you go. 4 hour, still sustaining the move. Hourly sustaining the move. Yeah. 20-minute building up from that move. So yeah, 5-minute entry. Nothing to do. Falls back down. 20-minute, gonna wait for a new stage 1. We did say we had red news, so shouldn't even have been looking at that area. Hopefully the 20-minute starts to build out from here. Falls back down. Don't really want to touch this market. Hourly sustaining the move. Let's see if we get validation. 4 hour. Nope. There we go. We hit some sort of red news right here. 4 hour good. Hourly is good. We're going to give it 1 hour. And then we're going to wait for the 20 minutes baseline. Give us some sort of entry. Take that hourly. 4 hour. 4 hour sustaining. Hourly is sustaining. 20-minute is sustaining. 5-minute entry over this high. It seems reasonable. There you go. Hopefully we're within risk. 1.08. Just under 1 ATR. Yeah, something like that. Oh, my bad. Got tapped in. Probably take a loss. Nothing new here. Very weak market. What time was this? So market closes at from here to around here is when I probably want to exit a trade. 4 hour, questionably sustaining the move, hourly. Still waiting for this build up on that hourly. Very weird market. What time is this? Oh, right after market open. Okay. So let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour, questionably sustaining the move, hourly starting to pump money into this market. The only entry I see is over this high, and this is actually a pretty reasonable entry. I'll take it. It's a very weird, choppy market, but it is indeed worth my risk. We're looking at a 0.2 stop versus 0.45, so just under 2 ATR. Like I said, I like to add that extra little buffer right underneath that low for personal experience reasons. I just have my reasons and different management and whatnot. So like I said, experience, everyone has their own techniques, and you'll learn these over time. 0.85% risk. Good. Get tapped. Wait, what was our risk? 0.3? Should have been closer to this low. Yeah, this is the candle that tapped us in on the 5-minute. So we're looking at 0.22 stop, which is, yeah, exactly half ATR. So sorry about that. Give me just 1 second. I have to respond to this. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're looking at, what was it, 0.22? Something like that. We'll keep it a little open. Probably move to break even right about now, I think is take break even. Probably going to continue the move. Hourly is still building though, so if we get some sideways on the 20, phenomenal. Good. Oh, perfection. What time is this at? We're looking at February 29th, which we saw we don't have red news. Oh, we have plenty of red news at 7:30, and that's it. 7:30. Yeah, so we passed all that red news. What time was 7:30 on the 29th? Oh yeah, it was this news. Okay, we're in the clear. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute, yeah. Baselining very nicely on the 5-minute as well. Not something I particularly look for, but still very good entry. We're looking at a 0.65 stop. Tighten it up just a little bit. We'll probably get a new low. There we go. That's our new low created. I'll do a limit to see if we get limited in. Okay, just kind of goes. So I get a replay and then get buy stopped in. Good. Get buy stopped in. Probably move to break even right about now. Something like that. Okay, get tapped out at break even. Hourly still sustaining the move 20-minute, so I want to see some sideways on the 20 and potentially that hourly. Hourly is still valid for longs. 20-minute is still valid for longs. 5-minute long over these highs. Let's take a peek. Nope. 5-minute long over these highs. Nope. Nothing to do. Falls back down. No money behind the move. Oh, whoa. Was this news? March 1st? At 1 in the morning. News at 8:45, 9, and 9. So, not red news. Still have a few hours before news. So if we get a good 20, I don't know what this looks like at the time. It might be a little bit weak of a candle. Let's look at that hourly. I'm gonna wait for a 20-minute 1, 2. If we skip down to the 1 minute and see where we open up next. Unfortunately, we do skip it just because of, yeah, we do have to skip it. Coming up on red news, potential entries lining up. Yep, entry right here, but we do have red news, so gotta skip it. Phenomenal entry for this high. Red news is probably gonna ruin the move. Yep, as anticipated. That's why we don't trade red news. We're gonna wait for 1 hour after red news, so there we go. Let's look at the hourly. Hourly extended, gonna wait for a collapse or a flush out. Starting now, I want to see this price collapse and then build back up. Let's look at the hourly. Phenomenal. 5-minute entry over these highs. Falls back down, nothing to do. Good, lining up very nicely. Beautiful long over this high. Potentially long over this high, but it was very weak of a move. Low in a range, no money in the move in the market. So more likely than not, I wouldn't have taken that move. Hourly sustaining the move, 20-minute. Very beautiful long over this high. Yeah, I want to look at the 20 again. No valid entry. Yeah, this is our first valid entry into this move, so let's see if we can get in on it. Whoa, that's huge. Somewhere around here. We're looking at March 4th. Let me make sure there's no news. Keep in mind, it's been 4 days, I believe, since our last trade. No red news on March 4th. Phenomenal. So we're gonna take our trade here. We're up 33 grand in a couple months. I mean, it's okay. Depending on how you trade, you know, where you live. But 0.55 risk, looking good. Get in, move to break even. Still at break even, believe it or not. If you really want to be stingy or like a little bit more aggressive, the only management I see is here. So I'm going to let this just do its thing. And there you go, you get taken out. you would have secured your amazing, who knows how much R. I think it was like 4. Hourly, sidewaysing a little bit, thinking in a clearer mindset. That probably would have been second best management, especially giving up 4R. But you learn, and you gotta let go of those sometimes for better moves, and that could have been a 12R runner, but I gave it up. So I got the 20. 20 hasn't closed yet. I hate how it shows the candles like that. Nothing to do. Very weak market as of right now. There we go. So 20-minute March 4th. There was no news on March 4th. Interesting. Okay. So there is a valid entry buy stop over this high. Looking at the 4-hour, good. Hourly, good. 20-minute, good. 5-minute, good. The only entry I see is over this high. What low is this? We're looking at a 1.57. Let's look at the 20 though. Yeah, phenomenal entry right over this high. I'm going to set up my buy stop. Give me just 1 second. Okay. Beautiful. A little high, somewhere right around here. Probably move to break even somewhere around here. Probably going to be a break even trade, just given the size of the candles. Still nothing to manage to. Still nothing to manage to. There we go. Something to manage to. Phenomenal. Caught our little runner here. If we take a peek at the context that we took this trade in, phenomenal. 20-minute validation, very good. A lot would consider this a late entry, but I think under my rules, I don't think, under my rules, this is completely acceptable of an entry. Gonna secure a little bit more of the move, even though more likely than not, I'm gonna get taken out, but I'm okay with that. Could just fall from here. Let's look at that hourly. We might just barely skip by with this management. Just barely. But I know that hourly wants to collapse. But maybe we just get lucky. Maybe. We appear to perhaps get lucky on this move. Let's look at the 20. Yeah, we might just barely get by with this trade. Or it'll tap us out and then give us a new setup. Which actually, if we look at that hourly, we are getting potential new setups on here. So I'll wait for a new validation. Nope. Okay, so we secure our amazing, what was that, 12R? How much is that? Is that 19? That is not 19. What? Okay, we secured 19R out of this move. Okay. Go me, I guess. Oh no, that is 12. Why does it look like 19? What? I swear it looks like a 19. That's why I was so surprised. I'm like, okay, well, we secure our amazing 12R. Hourly undergoing whatever it has to, so give this market time to do whatever it wants to. Market close, so hopefully in this next session we'll get a nice little move. Let's look at the 4-hour. 4-hour is sustaining the move, hourly sustaining the move, 20-minute. Finally build-ups, and we get a re-entry. So we just barely got tapped out, and we potentially get a new entry into here. Take a loss. I'll just set up some random loss in here. No shot. Come on, tap me out. Son of a bitch. How is it that, what the hell? Okay. I just need to set up like a loss or something. There we go. Took our loss here. Let's look at the hourly. Hourly still sustaining the move, 20-minute. Gonna wait for an invalidation. Phenomenal. 5-minute entry over this high. ATR low. whatever that might be, somewhere right around here. We're looking at a low of 0.86, 0.68. This is okay of an entry. Hopefully we get a new low created. Falls back down, 20-minute, still valid entry, but we might get a new 20-minute validation. And what I can do here is adjust this, move it just slightly lower because it's going to take a lot more money. If you want to think theory-wise, it's going to take a lot more money for this to move from here to here than for this to move from here to here. So that's where you can be a little bit personalized with your kind of entries and whatnot. But this is an okay entry. I want to double check the 20-minute. Give me just 1 second. Okay, phenomenal. Let's look at the 4-hour. 4 hours sustaining the move, hourly sustaining the move, 20-minute validations coming into this market. Beautiful. And so if we take a peek at this, what was it, like 0.5 something? Something like that, I forgot. Beautiful. Probably get tapped out here, move to break even. What do we move to break even? Yeah. Survive that move. No management yet. Good. Managed to here. I mean, it's very, very shit management, but at least we can secure something out of the move. Hourly, good 20-minute validations. Now we just go back to waiting. 4-hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute good. Beautiful long over this high, ATR low, we're looking at 1.1. So hopefully we get a new low created within 0.5R, phenomenal. And so remember, the tighter your entry, the less time you have to kind of execute. And so if we're looking at like 0.5R, half an ATR, this entire move was 2.18. I really want this to settle in with you guys. So 2.18 over the 5-minute candle, we're looking at 0.43 per minute. And so that means that 0.43, this from open to this point, if we're talking averages, which it isn't always, you know, it might, what I mean is if we draw it out minute by minute, okay? So this is 5 minutes time. I kind of want to explain it myself. So 5 minute, assume this is like some sort of timeline on the 5-minute, and start price is down here and end price is up here. What could happen is on minute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know, if you think about it, you will understand it on your own. But what could happen is on minute 1, 2, 3, you get just open price and it's just going back and forth. So how you could draw this is kind of like going up and 4, and then on minute 4 and 5, it skyrockets. And so that leaves you with a lot less time to execute. That leaves you with how much ever time this was, right? Because you're ranging in this time from minute 1 to 4, right? And then in the very last second, it skyrockets. And so this would allow you 4 minutes to set up your entry, right? Assume your entry is somewhere around this key level. By the time we cross this threshold and we're up here, or even higher, you had 4 minutes to execute. Now, that can also work against you though, because if we open on the 1 minute, we open and in minute 2, we fly up. That leaves you, if we want to divide this in sections of 5, that leaves you with about 20 seconds of execution before we're all the way up here. So think about it, because people want to trade the 1 minute time frame, but they don't realize the commitment that it takes. You have to be on the computer 24/7. You have to be doing all these things. And so, yeah, you got to be on top of your game. Like me, I'm tired. I want to go take a nap, but markets are delivering. Let's go see EU. EU, we're swap break even. 5 minute, nothing managed to. Only management I saw was here, and this is not worth it for me. So I'd rather take my break even and wait for next runner. So 20 minute, good, 5 minute, good. Yeah, and we're in on this move. Move to break even. Probably take a break even. Phenomenal break even. Let's take a 4 hour, 4 hour sustaining, hourly sustaining, 20 minute. We'll wait for stage 1. Potential stage 1, yeah. Entry buy stop over this high. Lining up beautifully. 20 minute is still valid. Something like this perhaps. We're looking at a 1.44. Hopefully we get a tighter entry. Something like that. And we're in on the move. And keep in mind, the only thing I'm using are SMAs right now. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need all these different indicators. I started using structure indicators to kind of understand where price was going. But after you kind of develop a little bit and years of experience, you kind of learn to see price differently. Weakness came in. No. I mean, here's the thing. Here we had a giant unloading in positions, and so depending on how quickly they get bought back up, depending on where we close here, there's a potential entry. Hourly is still valid. Weakness came in. 20 minute. Like, this is okay of an entry. I'll set up a buy stop over this high, because this is our low right here. We're looking at 1.47, 1.31, 1 ATR. This is okay of an entry. Good. Notice how I was hesitant about this entry to begin with. Now the 20 minutes is going to flush out and then give us an entry. This is an okay entry, but I'm going to wait for a candle, something more like that. Yes. Perfection. We do have red news in about an hour, it looks like. Let's take a peek here. Red news in 2 hours and 20. So phenomenal. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour holding, hourly holding. Had its flush out 5 minute. Yeah. This is absolute perfection for me. 5 minute low. The only low we get here is this one, which is 0.8 something. Perfectly within our risk parameters. Nope. Looking at this, we're looking at 0.83 versus 1.25. We could scale that down to about half an ATR, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay. 0.62-ish. Good. Move to break even. Nothing to do. Still holding, still holding, still holding at break even. Like, guys, I'm already 8R in profit, but I'm at break even. Now it's not worth for me to take risk here. Like, I'm giving up 7 RR. This ain't worth it for me. Whoa, what the fuck? Okay, I have to get re-entered on this position because I just got taken out. Or like TP'd, so I gotta move this like way up. Got entered, nothing to do. Okay, with giant moves like these, I'm willing to manage to about half of the move, maybe a little bit higher. And so what you can do is jump down to the 1 minute and find key levels that are respectable, right? Personal experience will lead you to some sort of conviction within your system, and everyone has different systems. Boom, I am a-okay with that. Flush out all you want. You know why? Because it's about to give me another entry. Well, maybe in a little bit. Beautiful, another entry. How far away from news? 1 hour? Our average winner is about 2 hours and 20 minutes. So maybe you don't want to take it because that's going to cut potentially, assuming an average distribution, that's going to cut off about half of your profits. And that's where you're giving up your edge. And so if you do the calculations of your edge in the market, and you see that if you were to execute your system with half of the edge, meaning your average winner is only half RR, and that is profitable, mathematically speaking, on an average basis, assuming in a perfect world, which it never is, you can still make a profit out of your system if you were to take this entry. I'm not going to, because I know now time is kind of working against me. I'm going to have to close by 8, and we only have an hour, hour and 20. So unfortunately, this is a good entry, not taking it. And there you go. You get this increased volatility, you get spreads widening, like you get all these things working against you. So it's just not worth it. You don't have an edge, or you're giving up most of your edge in a situation like this. So I'm going to play it 1 hour forward. There we go. That's the 1 hour candle, 1 hour after news. Hourly is now hopefully going to build up. Phenomenal entry over this high. 4 hour good. Hourly is good. 20 minute is good. 5 minute entry over this high. Yep. That is valid for me. Somewhere right around here. ATR low, we're looking at 1.8 something. So half an ATR. We'll do a limit. Probably tapped out right out the gate. That's okay. Hourly is starting to look a little funky for me, just given the way it's moving. It looks like it really wants to flush out, especially the 4 hour. So beautiful entry over this high. Yeah, I want to see the hourly flush out though. Just given my experience, I need to see this collapse. There we go. Good. Maybe now we can build some sort of base and build off of that, but even then, I just need to see that hourly collapse. There we go. Exactly what I was expecting. 20-minute baseline. I want to take a look at this particular candle, see if there was a setup here for me, especially looking at the 1 hour. A little low in the range, I'm not going to lie, because more likely than not, you can expect some sort of rejection, then a buildup. And so maybe I would have taken a trade here, maybe not. Potential entry over this high. Let's look at that hourly now. We're still low in the range. I don't like it. Gonna give it another entry validation candle over this high. Now we're building up very nicely. Okay, so I'll consider putting risk on this position. ATR low, whatever this low is, we're looking at 0.59. Good. And notice how I wait seconds before, minutes before, right before the opportunity of money coming in, right? Forgot how big the stop loss was. We'll do half an ATR. This looks a little small, no? 25, no. Yeah, this looks a little small of a stop loss. Okay, I guess it is. Half an ATR, 0.36, 0.78. That'll put us, yeah, just about half ATR. Move to break even. Probably gonna take a phenomenal break even here. Nothing to manage to. I'm not gonna give up 4RR, because given the size of these candles, it's either gonna go or wake me out. There you go. Could have managed to this low. We could have doubled our return to about 8R. That's okay though. Could have gotten another phenomenal winner off of that. Hourly building back out nicely. Still looking a little wonky for me. So this market definitely needs time. Yeah, needs a little bit more time. Building out, yes. So we do have red news approaching though. Hour and 40. If I get a validation on this next candle, I'll take it. Yes. Absolute perfection. Absolute perfection. So 1, 2. Entry buy stop on the 5 minute. Over this high, whatever low gets created. ATR low. 0.9 something ish. Okay, we'll take it. Move to break even after this candle. Probably going to be a stop out, a very quick one, but that's okay with me. Nothing to manage to, unfortunately. I don't want to give up 4R, so I'll manage to here. Could secure a little bit more of the move absorption of this range, so I'll do somewhere right around here. 5R. Manage to run these lows. Get taken out right away. And because we were in such good profit, let's assume that this move would have worked against me, like this giant candle. Somehow you're still in profit, or like even extended a little bit. Profit, break even, depending on how you trade your system, what you could do. I have different rules for this, but what you could do is move your SL to about 1R. And so that assumes that given the volatility of the news, when you're in this much profit, I mean, I'm in 10-hour profit, the worst thing that can happen is you lose everything. And even if you manage somewhere around here, you might still get slipped a good amount, but your loss might be 1.2, 1.5R, and that's okay. That's you're taking the risk. And so that's not so much gambling in the news where which direction is it going to go? What's going to happen? Because remember, spreads widen as well. And so keep in mind, I got taken out 15 minutes after red news, so hopefully everything has settled down, whatever might have happened. You can set your own rules for that. You know, I just show how to trade or how I trade. More red news, gonna skip all this. Hourly is unfortunately showing a good amount of bearishness. I can't take a trade here, even though this is a very beautiful valid long. Because I need to see that flush out just like that. So probably might have secured. I like to go back and see in the long run, adding all these up, like probably somewhere to around here in 0.98 to 1. Yeah, you would have secured your amazing break even. So that's okay. I need to double check what this looked like on the hourly. Yeah, good thing I didn't take a long there. Hourly building back up nicely. Gonna wait for this candle to close and a potential entry right over this high. I mean, this was your entry. Guess I missed it. What time was it? No, you didn't miss shit because it's rollover. So we'll wait till around 16 o'clock, 15. Yeah, there we go. Looking at the 4 hours, still building. Hourly is starting to go sideways a little bit, so this market definitely needs time. Phenomenal. Over this high, entry by stop, something like this. Look at the hourly at any of these points. This was rollover starting from like here to about 1816. So 6 p.m. Nothing to do there. Yeah, so this is the first entry we kind of see. It's very illiquid. I want to make sure there's no news on March 6th. Red news at 7:15. That's about it. So I think we're past all that. Yeah. So we go 4 hour holding, hourly holding, 20-minute is holding. Asia session is about to open up or has opened up. So we're going to wait for a 20-minute validation. And if you want to see something, you go here. This is a good tip for everyone, actually. Click on market hours and you can kind of see what, I don't do central, I'll do mountain because that's my current time. And you get to see what markets are up under and what times, right? And so if we're looking at, how can I do this? Sorry, let me think. Daylight savings time. Currently, daylight time is now underway in 2024. So we're at the current time. Well, I don't know the schedule for that, but it's a difference of 1 hour. So 1 hour, you'll kind of pick up on that. And so daylight savings time, New York is open from 6 in the morning. I wonder if that changes with if I were to change this to, okay, yeah, that's actually so perfect. So this is current my time. At my time, New York opens at 6 in the morning and closes at 3. And if you want to look at, oh, that's interesting, opens at 3. Okay, so if we want to look at London, for example, it open at 1 in the morning and close at 10. And so you get that London New York overlap from 6 to 10. Yeah, from 6 to 10 you get that beautiful overlap. and then you're kind of trading some sort of Asia, like Tokyo, European, from 5 o'clock to 2. And I've noticed this time region for me is also very nice, like right after market open, um, for Tokyo, I guess. I don't know if that was Tokyo session, but I did know after 5 p.m., 16 to 1700 is when I want to start looking at the market again. And so over time, you'll start to learn these schedules for yourself. And yeah, so very good. Frankfurt opens at 12, aligned with kind of London as well. So just within an hour gap. And so you get very liquid markets at these specific times. I don't know about Toronto. Canada is kind of small of a market compared to New York and London, but yeah, we started with 8% profit, 26K. We're up 200K almost. Let's get to the 200K mark and then I'll crop this video and then we'll go on to the next one. But we have learned so much in the span of very little time. So 20-minute validation. Gonna wait for my, assuming there's no red news, I think that's what we want to check. Let me see if this is a valid entry for me. Gonna go down to the 1 minute. Oh, 10-minute. 1, 2. And then I want to see where this next candle opens up at. So we get a stronger push. This is an okay entry right over this high. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hours is starting to move. Hourly is starting to build away from that move. If we get a good strong push off this candle. So what I'm probably going to work on getting coded up is some sort of software, some sort of MA. I know like some sort of predictability model that uses ATR. Where is it? ATR right here, and kind of pretends this candle is drawn out to the 2 point whatever ATR, 2.04 ATR to show what the MA would look like at that very given point. And yeah, I think that could be quite helpful. But this is actually an okay entry. You kind of have to use your imagination a little bit to kind of guesstimate what the MAs would look like, and experience. Like experience will kind of be your end all be all. Assuming there's no red news here on March 6th, which I wanted to go take a peek at. Red news was only at 6:15. Yeah, that was way after. So you'll get these sporadic movements. Phenomenal, move to break even. Nothing to manage to. I'll secure my 3.5R. Okay. Sometimes you'll get big movers and sometimes you'll just get your classic 4RR, 2RR. I rarely manage to 2RR, so. Beautiful long over this high. Nope. Yes, beautiful long over this high. Let's look at the 20, hourly, 20, 5. We're looking at a move of 1.29 with an ATR. This is quite an entry. Very interesting. But it's still valid. Very rarely do I get a move that pushes that far down, but you always get that quick mover, that quick like impulse leg, and so you constantly have to be updating your position on the live market. Yep, take your beautiful loss. I knew there was something weird about that entry. Entry over this high, falls back down. Entry supporting the move, 20-minute. Let me make sure there's no news on the 7th. Hello? There we go. Red news on the 7th. Oh shit. Is it March 7th? I may have been looking at the yeah, March 7th. No red news, 6:30 and 8. Time is it? 2:50. We got plenty of time. Weird how it doesn't show like F and A. It's got the 8 a.m. news, but 4 hour is looking a little bit questionable. I kind of mentioned it earlier. Don't like this kind of price movement, kind of like this. So compare this price movement to this price movement. I was kind of anticipating some sort of flush out to some extent, but once again, we go sideways and then build up. We go sideways and then get that like weird delivery where you're probably going to take a few more losses than wins. But it's still holding up quite nicely, so we can't discriminate, you know. We're looking at 0.7 stop. Get tapped in. Get tapped out. Beautiful entries. Don't get tapped in. Another beautiful entry right before red news. So we're going to wait until after this red news plays out here. Hopefully we get a nice long setup. There we go. Setting up nice. Building up the narrative that we still have this predisposition beautifully. Everything is setting up for a phenomenal long coming in, right? Look at the daily, even the dailies in phenomenal context. And so previously, the daily, we wouldn't have touched any of this, but we were still able to pull, I think it was like 30, 50 grand from this kind of price movement. And we got early on all these moves too. So we believe took along here on the hourly, took along here, took along here. 4 hour good. Hourly is starting to build back out of that range. So hopefully now on the 20 minute, which is actually phenomenal, getting along over this high but fell back down. So we're going to wait for a new 20-minute validation. Very weak once again. Hourly is starting to build out of this range. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good-ish. I'll consider taking one loss within this range. Fails back down, so don't get an entry. Phenomenal. Yes. 4 hour good. Hourly is questionable, but building out of this range. So far it's okay. Super wiki. I mean, you can just kind of see in the price action. And that's why I told you I didn't really like this. I was waiting for that hourly to flush out. And so what we could anticipate is two things. Continue delivery stage 2 here or a bigger fallout. And so I'm going to take my one loss here and then be on my way. Kind of let this market show me what it wants to do. But as of right now, this is the only entry I would have gotten, which we're looking at 0.73 risk, half an ATR. Take my limit, take my loss, and we're done. Another entry off of this high. I want to see what it looks like at the given time, because you have to be very, very honest with yourself, okay? Give me just 1 second I have to respond. Alrighty, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. I am back after a short little break. Like I said, it's been a long day for me, so just making the most of it. Let's do another top down. Totally forgot where we were on this market. 4 hour is good. Daily is good. 4 hour might actually start undergoing some longer term stage 1, it looks like. Hourly is kind of just very weak. So a couple things we can do here is step up to the hourly or the 20-minute and wait for validations to come in. If we look at that hourly, it's still supporting the move, still good bullishness coming in, but the 4 hour is kind of leading me a little bit astray from this market. And so what I'll do is, because we do have a valid entry buy stop over this high, I'm going to take one entry and then I'm going to be done. Let me just make sure there's no news on March 7th right here. Okay, we are on March 7th. News at 8 and then nothing after that. So looks like this is a valid entry buy stop. It's just the 4 hours really leading me astray here. I don't particularly want to touch this market, but because we are getting that 20-minute validation, this is where there's a little bit more of a gray spot, whether how systems can significantly differ. Some people might choose to walk away from this market. Other people might choose to stay in it. And each people will be rewarded differently. I'm going to be rewarded with my break even. Some people may, on the 1 minute, gotten their profitable trades, and that's okay. 10 minute, once again, we are getting another validation depending on where we open this next candle. Potential entry over this high. Looking at the hourly is good now. 4 hour is good. Hourly good. 20 minute good. Yeah. So entry buy stop over this high, assuming, I mean, it's 1500 or 1700, which puts us at 5 o'clock. And if we go here, once again, 5 o'clock my time, which is 1700, Tokyo just opened, which leads me to believe there is going to be a little bit more of a liquid market coming up. And so I'd be willing to take risk. Anything below 1700 I probably wouldn't touch. And I do this in the live market. Like right now, market's about to close for me, assuming we're trading Forex or, you know, if you look at, in this case, we're actually trading metals. And so if you look up market hours of metals, US, something like that. 6 p.m. Eastern, so that's going to put us at 6, so 4 p.m. Eastern Sunday through 3 p.m. Eastern Friday, and so this market closes at 3 p.m. for me, my time. But regardless, like, you can kind of follow general markets. So for example, Asian, US market, and that's where you're going to get the most liquid. Kind of like, I'm kind of pairing it with Forex and whatnot, but general US market and Tokyo market, whatever it might be. So I just know for this time being, there's going to be a little bit more of a liquid market, and that's all I really care about. There's going to be money flowing into this, and so 0.51 it looks like stop. Yeah, 0.51 stop. I'll consider risk here, take a loss, and then I'll be done. Move to break even and take a break even likely. Yep. Phenomenal. Hourly is still being kind of dog shit. And so I'm being very grateful with this market, very graceful, allowing it to do whatever it has to. And so looks like 4 hour is still sustaining the move. Hopefully we build out of this 4 hour range relatively quick, so we don't get that longer. Yes, it looks like this might have been news here. March 7th at 2300. Interesting enough, there is no red news. Let's go to the 8th. There might be like early morning news. Ah, fuck. My bad. How do I close this shit? Close. Like, what? How do I, like... Whatever. Okay. So red news at right before market close, so it doesn't really matter to me on the next day. So 4 hour good. Hourly building out of there. 20 minute. Only valid entry I see here is off of this high, and we're quite extended but still valid. Coming right into Asia session here at 1 in the morning, I believe is Asia. Like I said, I'm still in the process of checking all this stuff, but we're at current market time is 12. Let's just say 2400 or 12. No, 2400 would be right. So whatever this market is open, this market is open. So Euro, this market, Hong Kong, Sydney is actually about to close. So it's like there's still money in the market. You can clearly see money flowing in. And so this is an okay entry for me. I'll take it. Still valid. Still valid, but I need to see a good push now. Still valid, becoming a little less valid. If we see any sort of further retracement down, it's not worth it. And I'm out of this. And so what I'll do now, potential buy stop over this high, depending on where we close. Yes. Hourly supporting the move, 20 minutes supporting the move, 5 minutes supporting the move. Good for longs right over this high. Yep. Okay, we get buy stopped in. We're looking at a 0.69 stop, so just under half ATR. Get buy stopped in. It looks like, am I in? It's interesting. Sometimes FX Replay will do this thing where I clearly get buy stopped in, and then for some reason it doesn't. I don't know if it's spread. I don't know like how their system works. Maybe there's a price difference. Um, but this has happened a couple of times before, and I just play it through like the broker accidentally didn't execute, or I don't know. It's just it works for me. Hopefully it's a break even, but either way it adds to your edge because this could happen on the live market at one point or another. And so I guess it's one of those freebies you get here and there where there's a glitch in the system, you walked away at the right time and it didn't, you forgot to set it. Like things are going to happen, right? This world isn't perfect and we're all going to make mistakes. And so sometimes they'll add on to your edge and sometimes they'll take away from it. In this case, it looks like it's going to be one of those more profitable accidents per se, where maybe I got tapped in, went to the bathroom, totally missed my break even, or sometimes things happen, right? You're not a robot. You're not always gonna get this 100% exact, always on the chart. Kind of like when you're backtesting, because from here to here, let's say the trade went up to like here, I forgot to move to break even. It came back to break even and then took off again. And in that 1 5-minute candle that I wasn't here, I was in the bathroom. I had to run out of the house, whatever it might have been. I'm driving. I couldn't pull over to change my SL. You get lucky sometimes, but other times it's going to work against you. So in this case, I guess we just got lucky hourly. And so it's kind of that understanding that your replay statistics aren't always going to be played out exactly. Sometimes you're going to get a better edge, sometimes you're going to get a worse edge. So yeah, red news. So we're going to skip forward an hour candle. There we go. An hour after red news, still very wicky. There is a valid buy stop over this high, but it's just a weird market right now. I'll consider a buy stop if we get a very strong strength candle in. Okay, good. One more with a low somewhere within here. Okay, we're shaping up quite nicely. It's a very, very big market. Falls back down, nothing to do. Phenomenal entry over these highs. 5-minute entry. It's once again very, very big. 20 minutes still valid. Phenomenal. Okay, so we're looking at I'd want to stick between 1.5 ATR. I mean, I could push it a little bit. Let's see what this is. 2? Yeah, this isn't bad. 2/3 ATR. 4-hour, hourly, 20-minute. Good. Like I said, it's a little big of a stop for my liking. But statistically speaking, you want that bigger ATR stop because it'll help you out in the long run. So 20-minute, gonna get some more sideways, valid entry for this high. So at this moment, this is one of those like more rare or unique entries, but validation, if we get strength coming in either on this candle or the next candle, we are at a valid buy stop. Oh, my bad. At this high. And so depending on where the next candle opens at, I'll play it slowly. Hopefully, yep, yes. We're on the 5-minute, right? Yeah, 5-minute. So 20-minute validation buy stop over this high. And the moment this candle closes anywhere around here, this is also going to become a valid buy stop. So now we're building confidence up for what this market wants to do. And so depending, I'll set up my buy stop, but we might get one tighter entry. Nope, that's where we get tapped in. 20-minute is valid, 5-minute is valid. Probably going to be a loss. Oh, or not. Phenomenal. Move the take profit far away. I don't want to give up 5R, so I'm going to manage quite aggressively. It's probably going to take me out right away, but I'd rather secure my 5R than take a break even. Securing a little bit more profit. I'm still not ready to, I'm okay giving up an extra 3-4R to have a continued move. Even though it's probably going to take me out, that's okay. I still secure my 4RR and I'm happy. Like, that's just part of the game. Give me just 1 second. Sorry. Got my coffee. So let's look at the 4-hour. 4-hour sustaining the move, hourly sustaining bullishness. 20-minute. Phenomenal. Good for longs now. What time? Market close. So we're gonna give this market until probably 1700. So 1640. So right about now. Very, very early entry. I probably wouldn't take this. It's just a little too early for me. Not enough validation, but depending on where this next candle opens at, this is a valid entry. So kind of have to use your imagination a little bit once again, because this, as this candle formed, this is not a valid entry. But you kind of have to imagine how price is going to react if we get a confirmed delivery from here. And so what I would have done is something to the extent of this. ATR is, this is about half ATR. And so I'm still experimenting, right? It's all experience based. And so a couple things you can do here is wait for stage 1, which, because we are quite a bit extended, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should take it. I'm going to take it. And so you have just a matter of 30 seconds to a minute to make these quick split-second decisions on the live market, especially with a stop this size. Get tapped in, get tapped out. Boom. That's simple. So 20-minute, we're going to wait for the new 20-minute validation. Get that sideways validation. Buy stop over this high, hourly, holding, 20-minute, holding, 5-minute. This is quite an entry for me, actually. This is going to be a very tight entry, I assume. We're looking at a stop of 0.7, 0.66, 1.2. Yeah, exactly half an ATR. Get tapped in. Move to break even. Nothing to do quite yet. I don't want to give up, assuming this is like 5R. I'm going to manage to about 4.5. If we skip down to the somewhere around here, this is an okay management for me. Probably going to get taken out right away. Yep. But I at least secured my 4.5R instead of taking a break even or a loss. So management, guys, most important thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nothing to do. Gonna wait for this hourly demand to start coming back in. Very weak market. Could potentially see an entry over these highs if we get a strong push up. Gonna wait for this candle to close. This is an entry, valid entry, but also on this close. Because we're so low in the range, especially on the hourly, I want to see a little bit more validation off this market. Nothing to do. There we go. 20-minute long over this high. It is right before market close, so we only have like till 3. We have an hour and 20. And so knowing that the market becomes a lot less liquid, 4 hour, starting to stage 1 a little bit, we're still in that continued stage 1. I'm going to have to skip on this trade. Even if it goes, there you go. Less liquid market. And so you save yourself there. Money starts coming back in at around 3. Oh no, this wasn't market close. This is 1 in the morning on March 10th. Let me double check this. Sorry, I confused military time with March 10th. What day was this? Monday? Okay. So gonna wait for money to start flowing back into the market. 4 hour, finally starting to sustain the move, hourly sustaining the move. 20-minute. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Potential entry over this high, depending on where we close. Nope. Gonna wait for this validation candle. Yes. Maybe. Let's look at the 4 hour. Daily, still sustaining 4 hour. Building, hourly, building, 20-minute, building, 5-minute, building. So probably a loss here. Over this high, low, we're looking at 1 point something. So probably, yeah, quick loss. So I'll just take some random loss in here. Something like this. Here, let me make this tight so it stops us out right away. There we go. I got scared there. I'm like, is it not going to stop me out? Not again. Okay, so 20-minute validation. Hourly, still building. It's one of those nastier, deliveries. I'll consider taking risk over this high. Depending on where we close. Nope, fall back down. Gonna wait for the hourly to build out of this. Okay, building out. Gonna wait for a stage 1 on the 20. Nope, don't want to touch this. Got way too nasty for me. Hopefully this is our catalyst out of this range, which very clearly is. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour, we're still stalking for longs unless we get rejections off of this range. This is the candle where I probably would have started looking at the market again. Hourly kind of went and did whatever it had to. I don't think we have any sort of validations in here for longs. Potentially long over this high and potentially long over this high. Take a look at the hourly. This might actually be valid. Like I said, don't lie to yourself. I'm doing this for testing purposes. The results that I'm getting right now are probably going to be inflated to what you can actually predict. However, 4 hour down in the range, hourly. So what I'm kind of anticipating at this point in time is a rejection from here. That's kind of like worst case scenario. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. And if that happens and we get strong bearish delivery, I'm ready to follow this market short. But as of right now, we're kind of in the in-between where I don't want to touch it, but I want to see some sort of validation. So I jumped down to the 20. Potential entry over this high. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is a little low in the range. 4 hour is supporting the move. 8 hour. So unfortunately, I am going to have to pass up on this opportunity. Just given the 4 hour, we are quite low in the range. This is a very, very early entry. And so I don't want to expose my capital to that kind of risk. Now let's look at the 4 hour under this 4 hour good. Hourly is looking okay. I could expect to see a little bit of sideways. I want to see a little bit more sideways. What time is it? Okay. I have to head out here in a couple hours. So 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute entry over this high seems okay. But it is right at market close, so I can't take it. And that's why you're going to get chopped to fuck, you know? So 4 hour good, hourly good. Hopefully now after probably around 1600 to 1700. Yeah, this is a market worth following now for me. No entries so far. Potentially entry over these highs. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour sustaining, hourly sustaining and building. 20-minute is very weak of a candle, but still valid entry buy stop for me. So something like this, perhaps. I'll set it just slightly higher so I don't accidentally get tapped in. We're looking at using this low, 0.43, 0.6 something. So I'll take it. Probably going to get stopped out. Okay, 20, going to wait for an invalidation. Let's look at that hourly. See, hourly is not delivering how I expect it to. If anything, I want to see this flush out. Still not bad, but like if money was going to come in, the move should have exploded kind of from here. Now we're just kind of like sidewaysing a little bit, trying to figure out where we want to go. And so for me, this isn't clear money behind the move. 4 hours also starting to sideways a little bit. And what I mean by that is this kind of price action. So I could generally see this failing. But like I said, it does fall under my rules, and so I do have to take it for research purposes, as you will. As much as I don't want to take this entry, I think it's important to follow your rules. Actually, even if I wanted to, where the hell do you put your stop loss? 0.94, 0.72, 768. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, you take your beautiful loss. Gonna just throw in some random loss in here. There we go. Took our loss. Look at that hourly. Yep, 4 hour stage wanting, exactly what I was anticipating. So 20-minute, I need to see buildups of some sort. Probably gonna wait for the hourly to shape up as well. 4 hour, seeing these stronger rejections, potentially market to start falling short. to some extent, but if we take a look at the daily, daily is just undergoing some sort of fractal reaccumulation or absorption, or absorption of these ranges. If you want to look at like some sort of hidden S&D right here, whatever you might want to look at, however you trade. But yeah, 4 hour is unfortunately rejecting with some good strength too. So not a market I want to touch right now. I'm going to give this market time to either build up or reject further. Looks like we are rejecting further. So 4 hour is good for longs, or sells in this case. 20 minute, nothing to do. Going to give this market time. Your only entry was here, and you probably would have gotten a break even. Phenomenal. Take out the 4 hour. I'm going to inverse this chart just to kind of get a general idea of what I'm looking at. So yeah, daily could start buying up here again, but daily is kind of so disconnected from my 5 minute entries that, like, how many 5 minutes are in a day? How many 5 minutes are in a day? So we're looking at 1,145 minutes, or 5 minutes. So 1,000 candles of 5 minute. But no, I should be probably looking at the, yeah, no, this is good for sells, or longs in this case. Reversing the chart, hourly good, 20 minute good, 5 minute. I mean, the 20 minute is just gone crazy. Right after market open. Sunday. It is a Sunday on March 17th, so there's no red news, not to my knowledge. Sunday, March 17th. Generally I don't like to trade on weekends. I'll take risk, but this is one of those like one-off trades that's like, it's good, but on a questionable market condition. And so I keep, give me just 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I keep tabs on all trades and see if my edge plays out during certain market conditions. Clearly here it didn't. Of course, it's a Sunday. There's no liquidity in the market, or minimal liquidity. 4 hour holding, hourly holding, so 20 minute. Let's see how this market plays out this next session. Potential entry over this high. Yeah. Kind of depended on where we closed, but we just kind of saw we closed above. Oh, sell. Sell right over this high. Whatever low. This is way too big of a low. I want to see what the ATR was at this given point in time. 1.04. I forgot which low got generated. I think it was somewhere right around here. Nope, actually perfect. Move to break even, no news. I am going to look to manage just because, like, this is 4R, 4.3. I'm okay getting taken out at this. Absorption of that range, and then now pushing up higher, hopefully. Nope. Just chop, and that's okay. Sometimes you survive and sometimes you don't, but you still take out your 4R out of the move. Gonna wait for my 20 minute money to come in. Hourly starts failing back down. So now we step up to the 4 hour. Look at the story we're building. Still want to see rejection off this 4 hour or a very clean buildup. Given the daily story, I want to see this, but unfortunately at the time being, we're seeing this, which if you want to talk institutional levels, institutions at some point are going to start demanding this price somewhere around here, wherever they see fit. Oh, my bad. And so their main target right now is their positions might be negative. They clearly never want to hold negative positions, but if we're talking just theory, lots of negative positions at this point. They're just waiting for a key level to start buying up positions to continue higher, and that's okay. But we can take our edge out of the market as there's infinite amounts of selling and buying at all these key levels. And so if you want to talk engineering of liquidity, you know, everyone has different understanding, their own interpretation. You got Wyckoff theory, you got all sorts of different theories. So hourly is unfortunate. Oh, there we go. Yes, this is our guy. Let's go back and see what it looks like at the time being. Like I said, give me just one quick second. Okay, so 1, 2. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is, yeah, sustaining the move, pushing higher. Hourly, sustaining the move, pushing higher. 20-minute, sustaining the move. It's a little low in the range, but given the strength of this candle, it's something I'm worth taking risk on. My testing has proven, oh, dang it. My testing has proven that that's pretty profitable. So we're looking ATR of 1.29, 1.72. Good, good. Okay, complete like tangent, guys. Nespresso just came out with the Nespresso is like a coffee machine company here in the US. They just came out with the pumpkin spice flavor. You guys need to try this shit. Super fucking good. Probably not a break even yet. Break even. Probably take my break even. Be on my way. 4 hour is starting to almost fail here. Starting to fail us a little bit. So I want to see hourly money come into this move, if anything. So we'll give it one more opportunity here. 4 hours still sustaining. Like if I go to the 4 hour, bearishness coming in, it's quite weak bearishness. But it is at the end of the day supporting. Daily is probably getting bought up like shit right now. Like, so now is where we could potentially start to see reversals on the 4 hour as well. So 4 hour failure deliveries. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Very shit price, wiki, back and forth, left down, upright. But given our rules, technically this is still valid long. So I'll take one more risk position here, and then I'm going to let the zone kind of show me what it wants to do. We're looking at 1.25 risk. Tighter stop, very good. So I'd tighten it up to about 1.5 divided by 2. So that'd be like 75. Something like this. Kind of fits both sides. Beautiful. Hourly, we are done looking at this market here for a little bit. Yeah, not a market I want to touch. Hopefully 4 hour kind of falls in line with the daily. Surprisingly not, but it's super, super wicky, especially on the hourly. Yeah, finally. So if we look at the 4 hour, look at this, exactly what we were anticipating. And so I can't recall if I got one successful trade out of here. I think I was able to scalp out like 4RR, but looking at the daily, now we're getting that buy up that I was anticipating for a while. 4 hour buy ups coming in, hourly. Yeah, so I was kind of anticipating this market would continue short from here, but when you pair it with the bias from the daily, you kind of get a completely different story. So notice just by kind of factoring out or what do you call it? Like spreading out your bias story that you're building. So like your story building, spreading out different time frames that you're looking at, they're going to tell you a completely different story. And I know we're at an hour and a half already, but the amount of things that we're learning here, I'm going to give it one more like let's see what the 20-minute has in store for us. So this was all red news. Hourly is okay. Potential entry over this high depending on where we close. Nope. Potential entry over this high depending on where we close, or this high. Let's look at the daily again. Daily's following some sort of narrative. Don't want to touch this market. Two things could happen here. We go short, we continue following shorts, we go long. I need to see a little bit more time before we, there we go. that gives us our answer very, very quickly. So hourly, nothing to do. Nothing to do. Red news. So 1 hour after red news, now we're in the clear for buys. Hourly did just undergo some sort of stage 1, like very, very fractal. We can clearly see this on the 20. A couple things you can do here. Valid long over this high, or you can wait for a secondary candle. I'm going to wait. 1, 2. Phenomenal. Secondary candle buy stop over this high, assuming no red news. 4 hours good. Hourly is good. 20 minute is good. 5 minute entry buy stop. Falls back down, nothing to do. Gonna wait for a new 20 minute validation. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nothing to do. Hourly is probably gonna undergo some sort of higher time frame stage 1. So I do want to see a little bit of bearishness on there. 4 hour, good. Hourly, good. This is the hourly? Okay, yeah. So first sign of strength was really here, but I guess I was a little late to the party. So this is our entry. Nothing to do, nothing to do, nothing to do, falls back down. Entry buy stop over this high. 4 hour is good. Hourly is good. 20 minute is good. 5 minute entry buy stop over these highs. Phenomenal. Or would it be? Yeah, it would be a buy stop. Nothing to do, nothing to do. We can consider this a loss. Kind of, yeah, I'm going to do just like a random loss right here. Beautiful, take our loss. Hourly is good, 20 minute, gonna wait for stage 1. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour holding, hourly holding, 20 minute. This is the only other long I see. I want to see what the market looked like at this given point in time. Let me take care of a couple things here. Okay, give me just 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take care of some stuff. 4 hour, probably going to go into longer time frame stage 1, but the hourly is starting to deliver. 1, 2, yeah. Then okay long. Let's look at the 4 hour again. 4 hour continued delivery. Hourly is starting to sustain the move, so this is potentially something worth following for me. I'll take my long right here. ATR low. Like I said, my entries I always set just slightly above so I don't get tapped in like that. We're looking at 1.6 something, so okay entry. Good entry buy stop, move to break even. Whoa, come on. At break even, nothing to manage to, probably a break even trade. Yep. 20 minute, if we look at the hourly still supporting the move, what, 20 minute? Okay, potential buy stop over this high, wherever we close at early. So potentially here. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour sustaining. Hourly is unfortunately very weak, but starting to support the move. This is a place that I'd consider a buy stop. So let's step down and see if we get anything. 6 in the morning on March 21st. 21st, Thursday. So our last trade, I think. So 6:30 news. It is 6:15. So unfortunately, red news. There we go. Red news playing out. Okay, 4 hour probably starting to fail down. Gonna look for these hourly buildups to some extent. 4 hours now starting to fail. Daily still undergoing that stage 1. So I'm gonna give this market time. It's not worth to follow shorts here at all. So don't do that. If we would have gotten rejections off of here, that's a completely different story. But okay, good buildups. 4 hour good, daily good, 4 hour good, hourly good. I do want to look at the market at this given condition. I want to see what we looked at like at this point. So 4 hour, look at the daily, questionable. 4 hour, Very weak of a 4-hour candle. Does show strength. Hourly. I want to see if I would have gotten an entry. Not going to take it though. Nope. Market just goes without you. 20 minute, I'm going to wait for new validation. Potential entry, I'm going to wait for one more candle, something like this. And that's why we wait. Patience is a framework. It is key. 4-hour, back down to where we originally were. Still building up slowly. So I'm going to give this hourly market time. Let's look at the 4-hour, the 8-hour. Yeah, it's just such a weak market. I could see this just falling down now. There we go. That changes the entire scheme of things. And so 20 minute, we probably got a very nice entry in here, but missed it, of course. And that is a-okay. So wait for new 20-minute validation. Potentially entry over this high. Let's look at the 4-hour. 4-hour bullishness, good. Hourly, good. 20-minute, good. Yeah. So I don't know if this falls within risk. 2.8, 2.6, my bad. So yeah, we're still within 2.36 minus 2 points. So that'd be 0.3. Calculator. 0.3 divided by 2.6. So it's just within that 20% risk or air bound that I like to stay within. Look at the 4-hour, hourly, 20. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. A couple things you can do here is tighten it up just a little bit to here. Personal preference, I will do that sometimes. Get stopped out. 4-hour is good, hourly is good, 20-minute. New valid buy stop over this high if we close there. Still valid, but setting up a new entry. So here's what's going on. We have a valid entry over this high and a valid entry over this high. Personal discretion almost. But yeah, I do like this high, believe it or not. Take that. We're looking at 1.22, just about half ATR. A little over half ATR, but that's okay. Let me just double check what I'm looking at here. 4-hour good, hourly is good, 20-minute is good. Yeah, I like this. Take another loss. Hourly is starting to troll with us here a little bit. Potential entry over this high. Look at the 4-hour. 4-hour still sustaining. Hourly is still building up to some extent. 20-minute new entry buy stop. I'm going to take one final loss here and then I'm done. .98. Yep, just under an ATR. I do have to head out of here. It's about to be 2 o'clock, so. Yep, and I'm done. Fuck this market. That's what I'm thinking. Watch. Okay, now new validations. Oh man, this is just too good though. I took a loss here over this high, took a loss over this high, and about to take a third loss. Let's see if this time we get something worthwhile. Let's look at the 20. 20 is quite weak. 4-hour is still okay. Daily, 4-hour, hourly. I mean, it's now one final loss and the market falls off or it starts building up. So let's take a peek at the 5-minute. ATR low, falls off. Perfect, didn't even take a trade there. Good. Let's take a peek at this market. It's just a weird hourly market. Still building up. 4-hour might enter some sort of longer stage 1, 20-minute long over this high. All set up a buy stop now over these lows. Okay, looks like this was the low that was given to us, but it's market rollover, so, or close. US close, so nothing to do here. Gonna give it a couple hours. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hours phenomenal, hours phenomenal. I want to see what market looked like on this candle, because that's where I would have taken my long. Whew, what a long day. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hours sustaining the move, hourly sustaining the move. Yeah, this is a long I would 100% take. Whatever low gets created, we're gonna kind of guesstimate so I don't have to replay. We'll do 1.2, so we'll do half ATR. I'm pretty sure that should cover it. Just barely covered it. Move to break even. Probably take a break even per usual. Okay, not bad. Still don't want to manage here. You could secure your 3 point whatever R, but for the 4 hour sustaining, hourly sustaining 20-minute potential re-entry opportunities coming up soon. So yeah, I'll just take a break even on this. I guess not. Manage to round here. Probably gonna give me a new entry here pretty soon. 4 hour is valid. Hourly is okay valid. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. Still building out of this range, 5-minute entry. Yeah, it's just, if you take a peek at the 4 hour, we're just now building out of this range into that stage 2. Hourly is very weak of a market, but that 20-minute strength that just came in is the only reason I'm kind of willing to follow this market long. So I'll take my entry right over this high, somewhere right about here. Falls back down. Still valid, question mark? So whatever this low was, I'll take it. Get buy stopped in, get buy stopped out. Yeah, I'm telling you that hourly was looking a little funky. I'll wait for new 20-minute validation. Potential entry buy stop over this candle. I'm gonna give it one more. Yes. 4 hour is looking kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie. Hourly is looking a lot better than the 4 hour. Daily is okay. Yeah. Looking at a stop of about 1. So probably take a loss here. I'm okay with that. Break even at least. If it wants to run, it'll run. If not, it'll break me even. Whoa! 4 a.m. March 28th. At this point, I'm gonna secure 5R because this market's probably gonna reverse. That's just what happens with the big candles. There's a big imbalance left in price, and so it has to come back to mitigate all that price action. Sometimes you get lucky though. And that's that luck I tell you about. It's not even luck, it's just fate. It's just a matter of time before your edge plays out, and this is part of my edge. 10. Fun little 10 RR runner here. Okay, phenomenal. Secured my 10R. And hey guys, this is where I'm going to cut the video short because I do have to run. I have some errands I have to run and some important things. So we started this back test, this specific video with 8%, and now we are at 100%. So within the month of March, we grew from 33,000 to 300. So think about that. And if you actually want to like be a little bit more honest about it, from March 4th, we were at 33,000, and March 8th, so in 4 days, we made 33 or 230. We made $200,000, $203,000 in 4 days, just to put that into perspective. And so this is a $300,000 account that we just scaled to 600,000. So you can kind of get an idea of how fast you can scale things. Now this is a perfect environment, no slip, no spread. You probably didn't catch all these trades because some of them, like if you look at the sessions, some of them were out of session, some were Asia, most of them were Asia and New York. Max RR runners were in New York. So you're probably going to want to stay awake for Asia and New York and London sessions. So most profitable, Asia, New York. Let's go see what time Asia and New York is. So Asia probably covers Asia, New York, and what did we say, London? Yeah. So London covers from 1 in the morning to 10 in the morning. So you kind of get that overlap between London and New York. But then you want to look at what markets cover Asia. Asia. Don't particularly know what markets Asia covers, but yeah. Anyhow, very good backtest. We are how far into the backtest? We're in March. March, April, May, June, July, August. We still have about another 5 to 6 months of data collection. We're barely 3 months in and we're up 100%. So very good. Very not profitable at the very beginning until March. So what we'll do is, one thing I love to do is come here, map it out since 2024. Oh, my bad. Come on, go away. Map it out since 2024 and then go to March and see, okay, at what points were we profitable? Couldn't really take an edge out of this market. Shouldn't have been trading any of it. And around March, something profitability. Look at the market condition difference. Nothing to trade, lots of money to be made. Even though we were still break even. So that is a very, very, very good fucking system that I've built for myself. And this took 8 years. Effectively, the last 2 years have been refinement of the system. And this is what I'm trading live. I don't even see how my Euro trade ended up. So yeah, this is how the market's gonna close, and so I'm gonna close my trade here in a couple minutes. And so we secured probably just like 2R out of this move. That's okay. Nothing else really. Like this had some nice delivery. The 4 hours building up. This is actually the exact same market condition we're looking at right now. Back here when we were on the 4 hour and we got this weird like reversal. Where was it? Yeah. We were scalping for shorts for some period of time. I believe it was here, and then it kind of bounced back up, and then we were like, we're staying out of it. Look at this market condition, and then go back to trading view. Look at this market condition. Almost tried to start falling shorts, and then we kind of stepped out, and then we started building up. And if we step up to the daily, 4 hour building, hourly building. So I probably missed a trade here while I was recording a video. Good long over this high, didn't get tapped in. Good long over this high, probably got tapped out. Of course, didn't take the trade, so yeah, that would have been a loss. 4 hour, hourly to 20-minute validations off of something like here, entry here for me, and then just kind of ride it out. If this market were to continue open, another entry, valid entry over these highs, but it is what it is. We're not always on the market, and just gotta let your edge play out. So this is it, guys. I'll continue this backtest soon. All right, see ya.